beloved. I thank you so much for your time, and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those who are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, as well as career and finances. You'll find the link to my Patreon listed down in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google. Search it and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out, why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us step in and talk to God, okay? We have the belittling energy, alright? This belittling card, the depiction on the imagery, right? It illustrates a big monster figure, literally putting his gigantic foot on top of a smaller individual, right? In terms of how they are and in terms of how they look, right? So this beastie entity, demonic monster of a figure is tramping on another person and literally putting a big foot on this person, trampling them to the floor, right? To the ground here. Let's see this energy. Let's see what this is about. From this, what I just heard is, enemies being your footstools. It's like at first the roles were reversed. It was like this. You were going through life in a way where you were being put down a lot in many different ways, in many different shapes and forms, sizes, you name it. Spiritually, emotionally, verbally, physically. Always experiencing some form of a put down energy. Being put down, right? What it does to you, what it did to you, you know the experience of everything that you went through and how it affected you to this point in your life. And what God is saying is it's okay, because you didn't ask to be in pain or go through pain or painful situations and circumstances, right? Clarify this belittling energy, smaller than me energy is what I'm getting here, right? This is what this is. We have the Six of Pentacles. With the Six of Pentacles clarifying this energy, what I'm seeing here is like this whole time you thought that somebody, something was bigger than you, somebody, something was more powerful than you because of the pain it was causing you. But when you realize that pain is merely a reaction of human experience and not a measure of how something is powerful than you or how much something is more of you than you ever be, nah. It's just a human nature experience. And certain people in life take certain amount of time to heal. There's certain people that will heal in years, decades, before they find that contentment and peace based on something that they went through. There's certain people that just let go. They just don't like being in that pain, and they have that capability of letting go swiftly. But it doesn't mean that things never happen to them. It doesn't mean that things never happen in general just because you are unable to let something go or you have let something go, right? And if you look at your life, beloved, I feel like the reason here is I'm seeing that the whole time you were going through painful situations and circumstances and dealing with painful people here, you had no clue that they were actually feeding off of your energy. It's the whole time you were the beacon of something that they were feeding off of. A beacon is something pictured like an object that has certain magical power, right? Let's take that as an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example. This object has such power, right? And with this object that has such power, the power that it exudes and has and possesses and embodies in its form of identity, which is an object in this case, figuratively, right? But take it as you as a being, as a human being walking this earth, right? It's like earth angel energy, right? Where this object has this magical power, is powerful, and then whoever touches it, whoever experiences it, whether it's verbally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, gets certain power from it, it draws from it. Again, that's a beacon where you draw from the power that the beacon already has. And just because you've taken the power that the beacon already has, it doesn't mean you are powerful. It just means that you've stolen from something that isn't of you. You took something that is not of your identity. It's not who you are. That type of energy, right? Now, coming back to this message here, that is what your enemies have always been doing. Sort of and these people are your enemies now, but back then they could have been relatives, lovers, friends, colleagues. But now you see them as enemies, the enemy, right? They're the enemy. In your world and in your reality, we all have devils that we cross paths with. People that we know we should have never, now we know we should have never slept with them, or we should have never spoken to them, or we should have never thought that they were this and this about them. We have that awakening now, but back then we were in the jungle, in the battle, and we had no idea that we were in the battlefield or we were battling those enemies or the enemy in our world and in our reality, in our life, right? Now, with that being said, we do have Taurus energy here. I am seeing the justice. I'm being pointed to the justice Libra energy. It's the whole time when they were doing what they were doing to you, or you were experiencing what you were experiencing emotionally, verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually. Taking how it resonates for you, for your life, your world, and your reality, beloved. The whole time, you had no clue that these people doing this to you were actually feeding from you. They were feeding off of you. It's a way to feed off of another person when you hurt them, when you put them through things, when you say things, do things, act a certain type of way, knowing what it will do to them. It's like trying to draw power from that person. Oh, I know it's like physically hitting someone. You know that doing that is going to cause that person pain, and how you draw from that pain as that person's enemy, whether that person knows you to be that or not, right? Once you hit that person and they feel that pain, you think you have power over that person because you've done what you've done to them and you are putting them in that position of pain. But in actual reality, you are the smallest spectrum in such a bigger picture, in a bigger grand design, because it just truly shows that there is something about that person that no matter how you have to do it or cause it or say it or act like, you just have to cause them pain to make yourself feel powerful, to put yourself in a powerful position as the enemy, right? And that's what your enemies were doing the whole time. Hurting you, make them feel powerful, right? Hurting you, make them feel like they were smarter than you, right? Hurting you, make them seem bigger than you. You were smaller than them. But in all actual reality, it was something deeper than that if you look at it for what it is, which is the fact that there is nothing small about you. There is nothing minuscule to your identity. It's just the perspective that they wanted you to have. The enemy thrives off of our pain and anger, frustration, and the enemy thrives off of putting us in a position to be compromised or question who we are in our identity, when the truth will never change just because we question it. The truth will never change just because we doubt it. The truth of who you are, beloved, the truth of your identity. So if you think back to what you went through and the joy that people got from your sorrow, it should just show that, man, people ain't right. There's some real life devils out here. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with them and who they are. And you are just the beacon, the vessel, the catalyst to the truth of that, the mirror to that. Clarify further here, this smaller than me energy, belittling energy. We have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, most of these people never got love. They don't have love for themselves. They never received it from the people they needed it from. These people that were doing what they were doing to you, they have real issues here. Things that have nothing to do with you, beloved. That's that saying. That saying that says, our demons get irritated by the light. It goes for everyone. Even you, at some point, there were demons that you were facing, and the light that was shown unto those demons, it's either you allowed the light to kill the demons off, or you were fighting the light, battling the light because you were comfortable with the demons. Now, whatever the demons are, figuratively or literally, because there be other things going on out here, but no matter the figure of speech of what the demon is in anyone's reality, the fact of the truth of the matter is, like, they exist. Everyone has once had demons or has currently demons that they're dealing with. These people, beloved, they have real issues. These people were people that were never loved by the people they needed love from, which manifested itself in a coping mechanism of never being able to show love to another person because they don't know how to receive it. They don't even have it for themselves. You see, there's real stuff going on here. So what they did to you, that's how they fed from it, because that's all they know. The reason it hurts you is because you know you would never do that to another person, let alone just them, just anyone really. And now it's easier said than done to say, to say, yeah, you gotta let go. Of course you have to let go, but things take time, beloved. Like, you gotta really reflect on your life. Just take a moment and just reflect on reality, your world, your life, and see how many years you spent in pain, in painful circumstances, situations, around people that caused you pain, hurt. How many times have your feelings been hurt? Has your heart been broken? Has your mind been shattered to pieces? You have to build yourself up again. How many times have you had to rise up from the ashes as the phoenix? How many times have you had to do the work? This ain't no joke. Don't ever look at this life thing, your life, your reality. This ain't no joke, man. Our spirituality, our journeys, the ego, the truth, Oh, I know this. You never do. I'll do that to you if I want to. Oh, but this isn't right. If I do this to you, then why would I be surprised if it happens to me? I think it's better that this, I just let it be, I just let it go. There's differences, and those choices and decisions we make us and our lives. This ain't no joke. It's like manifesting, right? Let's take that as an example, an analogy, a reference point, a case study. Manifesting. Manifestations are a derivative of our desires, our human desires, our spiritual desires. Human desires meaning desires of the flesh. Spiritual desires meaning desires that go beyond the flesh. Things like, oh, I want to break this generational curse. I want to break free from this pain. I want to break free from this lack of financial stability or lack mindset. I want to break free from it all. It's like the thing I really despise and hate in this whole entire life. I don't hate much, I could say, I hate mustard, which is disgusting, you guys. But like, on a serious note, I hate the fact that there are people out here in this world continuously causing pain to others and themselves deliberately. Like, that ain't right. It's not about, oh, this world says it ain't right, this society says it ain't right. You know it ain't right, because if it was done to you, it will be a different story. The tables would have turned quick, because you know that it would have taken you out too, or hurt you too, or broken your feelings, your heart, your mind too. So why do it to another? If you know what it's like, why do it to them? So these enemies of yours, beloved, right? God is saying, forgive them. For they are so consumed in their own darkness that your light irritates every demon that they have to deal with. And you mirror, therefore, you mirror their demons every time you show up, you speak, you act like this, you talk like that, you be like that. You as your human being of identity, when you encounter a person that's dealing with demons, someone whose spirit is in some form of darkness, someone whose mind is not in the right place, they heart ain't even functioning the right way. It's like they ain't in the right state of mind, right state of being, right state of feeling. The mirror you uphold to them, it can kill them. Please understand when I say this ain't no joke. The mirror you hold can shatter them. That's why it's important to not hold on to any demons. Every day you do that shadow work and you release them, because it can really take you out. And it can do it in many ways. It's not just physical death that exists. Your self-esteem, your confidence, your mental stability, your emotional balance, real stuff, your spiritual stamina, your motivation, real stuff. It's important not to hate anybody for who they are. Just because you know that who you are doesn't measure up, or who you are is this and that. Like, address your life and leave people alone. Reflect on your identity and make sure that you don't ever look down on another person because of 1, 2, and 3. Because when that person reaches a certain point in their life, whatever you are looking down on, it can really be changed by God. God can say, oh, you were laughing at this about this person, I will evolve it and I will put my anointing on it, and it will be something that you could have never imagined in your whole entire life. Keep being humble, beloved. That's how God can use you, because you are humble. we have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, as well as Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy here, right? I see a new reality that God is forming here for you, okay? A new reality that doesn't consist of any pain. And how God is doing that is like God is going to give you the time. In your reality, in your world, God is going to grant you an element of time. And you got to understand, time is a special element of life, a concept of life that exists. Now, whether or not the information about time and how it's measured and how it's seen is true or not, it exists. There's going to come a time you got to go to bed, whether you don't want to sleep or not, but your body will shut that ass up and you will feel tired. Energy drink or not, clubbing or not, whatever or not, you will get to that point, and that's just the element of life. There is bigger things that are happening, bigger than us. Hence we die. Because this is bigger than us. God don't need us. And that's true. But his love for us is bigger than his ego to say, oh, I don't need y'all. Because with this world that we live in, a lot is happening. And it would be wrong for God to have that sort of element of being in his presence in all of this to say, oh, I don't need. Then what's the point? Let's just find a way to all move forward and it working in a favorable, good, justice way. Now, the good favor that is about to hit your life has to do with you having time. And if you think about it, everything is measured with time. You gotta go do something at a specific time. I'll see you at a specific time. I do this at a specific time. This happen. I wake up at a specific time. You know, this streams at a specific time. It's all the concept of life, right? It's part of the concept of life. Time is part of the concept of the grand design of life. So if God grants you that, it's not something you should ever take for granted or look at to be small. It's an immeasurable favor. Something that you must always reflect on and say, thank you that I have time. Thank you. Time to heal. No matter how long it takes, God is going to grant you time, because you are not in charge of how much time you need to heal, because you yourself don't know how deeply things affected you the way that they did. It takes time to get to that point. It takes time to realize certain things and the shock and the trauma. Just because it happened 2 years ago, just because it happened a week ago, just because it happened yesterday, it don't mean that because it's a new day, it's a new situation in terms of you not being in it anymore. It doesn't mean that whatever happened didn't follow you. The pain of the situation. It's okay, because you are human. Yes, it was painful. That's your human response to what happened. And spiritually, you could have really become a bad person too because of what you went through, but you chose to level up and your spiritual upgrade is here. Life is going to happen in such a way that you will always have time. How beautiful is that? Think of how beautiful that will be when you have time to always do what feels right or is good for you. We got the Nine of Swords. Yeah, no more worries, no more concerns, no more anxiety. Like, you are going to realize that it's like this is going to stem for over a couple of years here, right? I'm going to be here for a long time, right? We'll always do this together, right? And the cause of God, the big G-O-D, the agenda to heal, to bring souls in the kingdom of God. Right? Now, once you reflect on how lucky you are to even have faith in God and have faith in general, Other people out here are dead inside, beloved, shattered, broken to the core. They thoughts and feelings, they be messed up, so screwed up that they can't even. It's bad, man. It's really bad. If we really look at this world for what it is, this is bad. Music videos are pornography now. It used to be so much fun. It used to be so naive, like, oh, we moving and grooving to the music. Now it's mind programming, mind control. But moving on from that, there's a lot more. That's just a universal example, analogy, reference point, and case study that I can use that we can all agree is true. So, beloved, when I say that, you gotta be happy because you have time, you have to understand that, it's not an easy thing to attain in life. Everybody feels like they're running out of time. Everybody feels like things are moving in a certain way for them. They don't like the pace of life. They want this for themselves. And time brings forth peace, because once you have time, you won't feel like you need to rush things. You won't feel like this is going too slow. You won't feel like, it'll feel like a perfect tranquility of existence. Keep believing and having faith in God and praying and manifesting and calling in what you need. You need this healing. You need this redemption. You need this marriage to work. You need this mental blockage to be broken. You need this emotional stability and balance to be maintained. You need it. We have Leo energy once more. We have also Gemini energy here. We have the Five of Swords. We have Aquarius energy. And then we have Leo energy again, Aquarius again, Taurus, and Scorpio again here. It's like, beloved, one day you look back and you'll be so grateful that you never gave up on yourself, and it'll be because you kept believing and trusting and having faith in a better outcome, in a better reality, in better things of being, in better feelings, better emotions, better thoughts. You always got up and said, I want better, I'm going to have it. And your belief and trust and faith in that is what's going to get you to that point in your world, your reality here. And you get to look back at everything that once felt so big, so powerful, so mighty, so strong. And you'll be like, hey little man, how you doing? Whether it's a memory, whether it's trauma, pain, hurt, whether it's a mind that was so filled with such darkness that breaking out of it, you have no idea how you did it. Whether it's your environment that was so unhealthy and toxic and dangerous, you have no idea how you made it out to this day. Whether it's the fact that you were almost taken out and your breath of life was stolen from you, but you're still standing, there's still a recovery that you're going through, and it's okay. This message is to tell you it's okay. Do not rush your own healing, because you have no idea how deep it hit you. Just because, like, think about it. If something happens to me that's so tragic today, and time just keeps moving, life just keeps going, I'll eventually just be convinced that because it's not happening to me anymore, I just gotta move. Like, yo, that's not how things are and should be. We should all give ourselves the time. And unfortunately, in this world that we live in, we get told that we shouldn't. It's just this, nobody was there when you went through that. Nobody felt what you felt. It was a separate experience for you. It was a separate thing. Give yourself the time. Don't be hard on yourself. Be patient, even with those intrusive, provocative thoughts and feelings that stem from the memories, the trauma, the pain, the hurt, all the things that you need to still let go of. It's not you. It's because you went through it and it happened to you. Give yourself the time and the opportunity to heal by being patient. Being patient with yourself, with your trauma, with your pain. Choosing not to hold it, but to always understand that it's a procedure. It's a process to let something go. It's like an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example. Why I said it's a procedure, it's a process to let something go. Think about being in the hospital and you have something really going on. Like there's this wound that you had an accident, something tragic leads us to hospitals, whether it's a psychiatric hospital or a freaking medical center, right? Regardless though, being there, they need to have a certain procedure with you, right? Take the medical field, for example, like certain transplant, kidney transplant, somebody like these procedures, and it doesn't mean that, oh, you know what the issue is, you know what happened to you, you know you need this, let's just do it and you're now gonna get over it. Like, yo, no, guys. Firstly, we all didn't choose to be here. If we did, we would not be experiencing life the way we are. It wouldn't hurt this much. It wouldn't weigh us down the way it has or did or is. It wouldn't be like this. If you had the answers of a supposed past life you had, you wouldn't be in that much pain, in that position. We got the Five of Wands here. We got God's presence reversed, and then we got the Six of Wands, right? The thing about life is, like, we don't even choose our experiences. Who chooses to be in pain, right? Who chooses to be broken and shattered by things that people do? Who chooses that someone is going to attack them and spiritually, verbally, emotionally abuse them? Like, who chooses that? It would be insane if we had that choice, because I would be on an island having no experience of my pain. But because it made me who I am, it doesn't mean that it made me who I am because it happened. It made me who I am because I broke through it. Don't ever for a second let someone that you believe that a painful experience is what you chose, and because you chose it, like, yo, they gotta shut up with that shit. Because there's certain things that could have taken all of us out if we didn't have the capacity to move on and heal from it. If you look at your life and reflect, you are here for a reason, because you could have easily been taken out. Stop measuring your purpose by another person's purpose, or by what the world and society says purpose is. Your purpose is related only to your destiny, your bloodline, your ancestry, and that's a journey to discovery of that. Every day we discover that. And once we learn that everything has a procedure, a journey, an era, a path, we allow ourselves to just be. Heal. Don't put a towel. This 6 months, I'm like, yo, what if it doesn't take 6 months to release that and fully let it go? Why I say that we don't know how deep things hurt us is because there's layers to everything. And trauma, shock, pain, it hits us in layers. You might think, oh, you over it now, but then it hits you in a year. And everything has a journey. And if you are impatient and you label it and you take this and you say you're gonna do this, and you don't allow yourself to just exist in it and allow yourself to grow in it and allow yourself to heal through it, you never really see it for what it is, which is something that you experienced and it was wrong. It happened to you and it was wrong. It was wrong, all of it. They were wrong for that. I'm called to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the divine, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those who are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, as well as career and finances. You'll find the link to my Patreon listed down in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.